Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group, and I encourage you to watch the whole video. This is going to be a very important video because I'm going to be discussing things and demonstrating the possibilities in this industry. Things that you will never ever hear or will be discussed anyplace else. You're not going to see it by all the wannabe gurus, the fake book groupers, the battle of the dingbats, or the white walkers. No. The reason why is they don't do what we do. Flat out, bottom line, just facts. Now, to give you the 50,000 foot aerial view, if I had to boil everything down to three key things, three key objectives you want to accomplish in your NEMT business, in your home care business as well, and your logistics business, but let's talk specifically about your NEMT business right now. There's three key things you got to do. Increase sales. Boom. That's obvious. We got to increase sales. As we increase sales, we got to increase profit. So if we increase sales and we increase profit, it stands to reason we can increase the overall value of our business. Now, I know that may sound elementary, but a lot of times people lose the forest through the trees. Now let's talk about that. Let's break that down for a second. Stay with me again. Watch this whole thing. Let's talk about the brokers. So many of you, if you're new to the channel, I talk about the fake book groupers, the white walkers. The white walkers are like those zombies. If you've watched Game of Thrones, it's like they just multiply, and all they do is just devour anything they can get their hands on. They follow all this free crap online from these brokers who are nothing more than tech platforms, and they think they're going to teach you how to make money. These dingbats, these fake book groupers, who they just want to, everything is so happy and rosy in their Mary Poppins world, and it's, hey, how to sign up with more brokers. That's the overall arcing theme of their business. And these are the gurus who are, they want you to hire them as consultants so that they can help you sign up with more brokers. It's insane. Now, let's talk about it. Can brokers help you increase sales? Yes, absolutely. In fact, you could argue that's probably the fastest way to get sales. But the problem is, does it increase your profit margin? Because a lot of times when you go with the average brokers, like let's start with Motive Crap, formerly known as Logisticrap, who had to change their name to rebrand because the brand sucks, and MTM and all these other ones that who do they care about? Your top bottom line or their top bottom line? Obviously they care about their bottom line. But can they help you increase sales? Absolutely. Sign up to share crop with them, as long as you have enough. Sometimes rules change everywhere, so some places you could start with a single vehicle. Some places they may have a threshold of you have to have 3 vehicles. Regardless of where you are, come on, it's easy to sign up with the broker, and you could become a pretty good sharecropper. They'll give you trips. Now, always understand that the minute that they find someone cheaper, more cost-effective, they're going to switch and jump ship. They're going to go with them. So all of a sudden, that affects your sales. So objective number 1, to increase sales. Yeah, you can get them pretty quick with the broker if you work like a lapdog. You share crop good and hard on their plantation. You could increase sales. Now, increasing sales, is it the same as increasing profit? Obviously, no. Of course not. We know this, and I know that you know it, even if you're a newbie and maybe this is going to be your first business. I know you know the difference between sales and profit. Just because you have a lot of sales doesn't mean you're a lot of profit. And I'm sure all of you have heard the whole saying, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. All well and true. So we know that sales could be plentiful if you go share crop for a broker. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to profit. Now, can you profit? And look, I tell everybody, I have no problem with you doing broker work as long as it's profitable, number 1. We keep it in proper context and perspective. Do we want a large portion of our overall business revenue being generated from brokers? Absolutely not. 100%? Never. 50%? No. 25%? It's palatable. We can make that happen if the numbers are good. So what are good numbers? Is it 10%? No. No, I'm not happy with 10%. 15%? No, I'm not happy with that. I mean, even if I'm doing broker work, I need to be as close to 20% as I can. Our overall goal throughout our entire business, throughout different types of revenue, we want the overall margin to be, our target's 25%. 25%. If we're less than that, it'll pique my interest. We need to start looking at what we could do to become more effective, more efficient. Should we raise prices, cut costs, things like that. If it starts to get closer to 20, I'm concerned. Anything above 25, we know we got gravy. We know we got gravy, so we're in the black. We're making money. We're empowered. We got options. So if we can increase the profit over time, and we're making money, and we could demonstrate to future buyers that, hey, look at our sales, look at our profit, look at it over time. Over time, look, we've increased our revenue, we've increased, proportionally speaking, we've increased our margins. Our margins actually even started to exceed, proportionally speaking. Man, what does that do? That increases our value. Now, what am I talking about value? We want our business to be an asset. This is where I've talked about in previous videos. I love working with so many of you, but I honestly don't want to work with people who are their sole goal, their sole focus in life is I just want to be the best transportation provider I can be. I want people who are about making money. And to make money, we have to look at your NEMT business as just one asset within your entire portfolio. Now we're going to focus on that single asset, making your NEMT business a strong asset. So we got to increase the sales with good sales to increase the profit so that we increase overall value. Because when we increase overall value, ching ching. We make money all along the way, but ching ching, then we cash out. That's when we make great money. Now, long time ago, and I've talked about this before in previous videos. For those of you who've been with us for a long time, you probably remember me talking about one particular provider who in 2022, we were selling their business for 4.25. 4.25 million, had a great business. Now he started his business with, wait for it, single vehicle, read my ebook, watched my old DVD series, and started by himself with an ebook. Or I'm sorry, with single vehicle. By 2022, we had the business listed for 4.25. Had a buyer. Went through all of the LOI, went through demand discoveries. We even had a summary agreement. We were within 45 days of closing, and the buyer botched the deal. Clearly, the buyer had to have someone else chirping in their ear. Who knows what they were saying. But within those 40, I don't remember the exact number of days that we had till closing, but it was within those 45. And again, we've already done everything. So we did the valuation on this business. We had it listed for 4.25, had a buyer, had it all locked up, ready to roll, did the LOI, did the due diligence. The buyer and seller met multiple times, we talked frequently, hit me up with any questions, iron out any kinks, had a summary agreement, we're ready to roll. And then someone had to have been chirping in his ear because all of a sudden he thought he became some master negotiator that was going to renegotiate this deal, but we've already gone through the LOI that we both agreed to, did the due diligence, summary agreement, all that kind of stuff. We're ready to just lock this up. But something happened, who knows. Anyways, I told the seller at that point in time, I said, dude, this is getting ridiculous. It's going sideways really quick. We can't control this weirdness going on here. It's better that at the end of the day, we just bail on this. Let's bail on this deal. The growth trajectory that you're on, we know that we're going to be able to sit on this for 2-3 years, sell it at even more. And that's where we're at. So we backed out of it because the buyer totally botched this. And the way we had things structured, it was not only just a win-win for both of them. When I say the entire life, the entire trajectory of this buyer based on who he was coming from the healthcare industry, wanted to own his own business, and this business was primed, ready to roll, turnkey, great location for him based upon where he was, what he wanted, everything was there. Clearly it went sideways. We could summarize it by saying, hey, God had a different plan. So again, I told the seller, like, we're done with this. This is nonsense. We're not going to be fighting here in these backdoor last minute shenanigans. We're not doing this. I said, let's just sit on this, continue on the path that you're on, and we're going to be in an even better position. Now here we are in 2025. That same business is now doing closer to $6.5 million a year. Now, what's awesome about it is, again, I talk about in 2017 he started with, boom, single vehicle. Like many of you, started with a single vehicle, a lot of hustle. I wasn't even working with him directly one-on-one. He was young, motivated, eager, made a lot of mistakes, don't get me wrong. And all he used as resource at that time was my ebook and my old DVD series from way back then. And then here he was by 2022, trying to sell 4.25. That got kiboshed, and now here we are again. And the business is closer to 6.5 million. Now, the reason why I share this as well is because it's a classic example of, again, the three most important things: sales, profit, and value. Okay, sales continue to go up. Now, was he one of these suckers who were just these little lapdogs that sign up with these brokers to become a sharecropper? No, absolutely not. There's no way he could have done that, started with a single vehicle, and within 5 years put himself in a position where, 5 years, put himself in a position where he's at selling the business for 4.25. Okay, there's no way you're going to do that. If there's no way you're going to do that just doing broker work, not going to happen. So clearly, great sales, great margins, great value. The overall, again, we want to get as much money, push as much money through our system, make as much money as you can day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. Let the business mature so that we could sell it at a future multiple. So again, the deal falls through, the buyer pulls the shenanigans, it falls through. Now here we are, he enlists my help. He's like, JD, let's do a valuation on this. Now and again, I share all this because his business model is unique. Because of his size, it's highly unlikely that you starting your business in your local community is really going to build it up to 6.5. It's really not going to happen. I mean, it's just not going to happen. You know, it's market size, competitors, all that kind of good stuff. Well, to get to 6.5 in revenue, he's bigger, okay? He has a total of 5 different NEMT businesses, all operating under the same business structure, same name, same brand, everything. And he's very wise. What he did was, and you've heard me talk before about partnerships. Partnerships, if done correctly, could be great because you're leveraging someone else's time, effort, experience, money. So what he did is, in expanding his business, one by one, he'd bring on a limited partner. They could buy into it. You could argue it was similar to a franchise, but it wasn't, because he was still a majority owner in each one of these different entities. So what we did, now he reached out to us and said, hey, I think we're getting to that time. Let's do another valuation. So what we did is, of the 5 entities, we did a valuation, 4 of them specifically for these entities. One of them he operates pretty much exclusively by himself. The other 5 he has limited partners. So we performed these valuations. It took a long time. Now, for those of you new to the channel, we do these valuations because, I mean, we work with buyers and sellers all the time. I like this. I tell people, listen, I have no way of quantifying it for sure or necessarily proving it, but if I had to bet pennies to marbles, I would almost guarantee that I've done more valuations, I've done more direct acquisitions, buying and selling in NEMT than anybody else in the industry. I say that because, especially when you look at these, the level of the grease balls out there, because there's a lot of grease balls in this industry. It's just fact, just fact. A lot of con artists, the brokers. Now, again, do the brokers? They get, oh, they're gonna put the carrot and the stick out there. Oh, we're gonna get you the sales, but are you gonna give me the profits too? Probably not. And if you can't give me the profits, how are you gonna give me the value? How is my business gonna increase as an asset? How is it gonna increase in overall value if I can't get the profits? You can give me the sales. You can guarantee the sales. You could double, triple, quadruple them, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna increase profit, and it certainly isn't gonna increase the overall valuation of my business. And I've said it 1,000,001 times. If I said it 1,000,000 times, I've said it 10,000,000 times. If I'm drowning in 10 feet of water, the last thing I need is 5 more feet of water. So you, the broker, you can give me more trips, but if it's not profitable trips, it means nothing. So going back to this provider, so we did the valuation, and it took a long time because we did 4 of them. So when we do this valuation, it doesn't mean that you're not going to do the buyer or the seller. It doesn't mean you're not going to continue your due diligence, but the valuation is to give you a legitimate idea of, if a buyer was coming in right now to buy your business, what are we looking at? At least the starting point for negotiation. And I gotta tell you, every time I do a valuation, sometimes one party won't necessarily like it. Again, sellers always think their business is worth more than it is. Buyers always think it's worth less. I don't play that game. Okay, I play it straight down the middle. If I bring both parties together, then I am telling you, we're going to have a win-win situation, or we're not doing this at all. I've got to have a win-win because I'm with both parties. If I'm just representing the seller, obviously I'm biased, because guess who retained me? Guess who's putting money on the table and paying me? The seller. And it doesn't mean like I'm some money whore, because I'm not, but it's a matter of who am I working with, who am I representing. It's common sense. If I'm working with a buyer, then I'm going to identify any possible concerns, and I'm going to use that to give us a better advantage. That's just fact. But if I'm working with both parties, I got to play it down the middle, because chances are very good after the business closes, then I'm probably going to be working with the buyer, for a long time thereafter. I've been working with this guy who we just did the valuation on for 4 of his business entities. I've been working with him for how many years now? So the valuation, I stand by our valuations. We have very good, very targeted, and it's practical, because it's not hypothetical. We had one lady a couple years ago who swore to God, and she would probably curse me and call me every name in the book, because she believed that her business that was doing $400,000 a year in revenue was worth over $4 million. Please. This is why when you enlist our help for evaluation, or you want to sell your business, this is why we're going to move methodically forward. We're going to start with some basic questions, see where your business is, do some P&L, lifting up the hood a little bit, run some numbers, to see if this is even going to be a good fit. If you are insane like this lady was, thinking that your business doing $400,000 a year is worth $4 million, it's just never going to happen. It's not going to be a good fit. We have other people who will reach out to us. They want us to represent them to help sell their business. They have all these demands. If you come to me with demands, you're going to be turned away quicker than the door even closes. Don't waste my time with that. Do not waste my time with that, because I'm not going to buy into your nonsense. This is and I'm not making this up. We had someone who paid, wait for it, $45,000. Not $4,500. $45,000. These people paid $45,000. I don't know if you heard me. I said 45. They paid 40. That's like buying a new Transit. Going out and buying a good quality, strong, used Transit to add to your fleet. They paid this company, who spent months to do this valuation. This is long before they enlisted my help. They paid $45,000, and they'd come and they inspected the vehicles to do a proper appraisal with a knitted brow, concerned look, and it was like this thick. It was like thick. The final valuation. It was dude. I could have wiped my butt with that thing for a year. It was not only was it just it's so. I mean, you could everything should have been boiled down to 1, 2, 3 pages tops. It was just incredible. They wasted $45,000. Insane. That's not what we're trying to do. Not even practical. All right, let me try to focus here. Get back on my buddy here. So we did the valuation. So now he's saying, okay, we're so big, it's going to be difficult for us to find a buyer who's going to come in, buy everything at 6.5. What does this look like? Now, he's still on a growth trajectory. I'm telling you right now, the dude is still on a growth trajectory. More work to do, more opportunity. Love it. Love it. Now, you get to a point in time where you start making money like this, the number of buyers actually becomes more limited. And that's problematic. So it's, hey, make as much as you can, squeeze out as much juice as you can. I'm all for it. But again, you get to a point in time where you get too big, then you have a limited pool of buyers, because not that other buyers wouldn't be interested, they could be, but then what's their finances look like? What's the funding look like? And then do they have to get venture capital? I mean, where's the money coming from? It can get much more problematic. And I'm all for doing some creative financing. Now, I'm not a big fan of the SBA nonsense, because you start going down the SBA, it quickly becomes burdensome on the seller, and it's a pain in the butt. And it's like, dude, come on, man. It's a classic example of why so few businesses sell. Just being honest with you. And I'm not just talking NEMT, I'm talking every industry. Go pull up some statistics. It's something ridiculous, like 9%, 8-9%, and that could be even on the higher end right now. I don't know. I haven't looked it up in a while. But the overall number of businesses that sell, that are listed, it's very small. It's very small. So when we're working with buyers and sellers, I'm only working with people who are serious. Facts. So let me share with you the email that he sent on Friday. We delivered to him Friday. Because again, he's looking to, what are my options here? I got these he has a total of 5 entities that are actually running transportation service. 4 of them one of them he runs himself. The other 4 he has limited partners. Do I buy them out? Do I sell it individually? What's that look like? And it took us a while. There's 4 of them. And again, to give you proper context, I already worked with him in 2022, so I had very good understanding of his structure, good rapport with him, good recollection of things like that. So he sent us this email. He says, JD and Don, holy crap. Wow. Just wow. You guys seriously knocked this one out of the park. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The letter to the owners is so legit. Now, what I did is, because again, he has limited partners, so what I did, in addition to creating 4 distinct valuations, because they're all different. Again, he's doing $6.5 million a year. You could argue, okay, between the 5 entities, you're what, like 1.25 averaging on average. But some are making a little less than $1 million. Some are making much more than that. Things like that. So, but on average, you're looking at, out of 5 entities, you're what, 1.25. So he has these 4 limited partners. I also drafted a letter for him that he could use when giving them the valuation. This is a letter that really starts to explain the what, who, when, where, and why, and how to really wrap everything up. And to confirm to the limited partners that me, the owner, I enlisted the help of Joel Davis, United Medical Transportation Providers Group, unbiased party, want to look at this, unbiased, and here's the valuation. So that's what he's talking about when he says the letter to the owners is so legit. And I'll continue. He says, you guys are making me look more than good. The EBV, the Executive business valuation for each individual entity were custom tailored to the reality of the situation. And that's very important because you had these four other entities, and they're moving at different paces, different revenue, different location, different market demands, condition of the fleets different. Some just got new vehicles, some need real recapitalization, so they're not all moving at the same pace, so they all had unique situations. He continues, what blew me away is that I feel like you really know our organization and how it functions. Hello, I think you forgot that we did everything in 2022, but I make light of that. But he gave me all the numbers that I needed, the P&Ls, the balance sheets, the vehicles, the specs, the mileage, just everything that I asked for. He got us, and then no question. I mean, having a firm understanding of his business from back in 2022 when we went through all the valuation, the selling and everything. So I still had a very good firm understanding and good recollection, as well as correspondence over these continued couple, 2-3 years. So I had a good understanding of it. But then on top of that, I'm good. Knowing what I know and how seeing numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. You could see things from numbers, trip volume, revenue, the margins, the vehicles, how they appreciate, depreciate, what has value, what doesn't have value, what's realistic, what's not. You come to know these things. Again, this is stuff that you're not going to hear from all these other clowns, all these other gurus, the battle of the dingbats, the white walkers, the fake book groupers, and all that nonsense. He continues, I don't even think I gave you much context, but you definitely understood it. The explanations were spot on, direct, fair, easy to understand. You guys just get it. Exactly. Exactly. Joel, you're bragging on yourself. Yes. 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 Yes, I am. Yes. I mean, because we've been in this, we've been doing this for 25 years. Yes. Yes, because we work directly with all these companies all over the country. No one has a better finger on the pulse than we do. And yes, no one has evaluated more NEMT P&Ls, balance sheets, business valuations, and literally worked with more buyers and sellers with acquisitions than I have. Fact. So yes, I get it. Joel, you're so cocky. Yes, thank you. I've been hearing that since I was in high school, and I welcome that. Yes. He continues, I feel like you're a partner. That's why you pay me every month. That's why you keep me on retainer. That's why I tell people, hey, the people who keep me on retainer, that's why I jokingly refer to myself as their board of directors. Yes, that's what we're here for. Yes. He continues, I have no doubt this will be a smooth transaction with this presented to them because we did a great job explaining. Again, he has 5 business entities running this entire venture that's doing about 6.5. One of the 5 business entities he runs himself. Okay, he's not going to sell that one obviously, but he's looking at possibilities for the other 4. Is he going to sell them out individually, bring them into the fold? I mean, how was he going to manage those? He wanted the valuation so we could present it to his limited partners to say, look, here's where we're at. This is what the business is worth. And again, not all of the 4 businesses are in the same condition. Some are more distressed than others. Some have more revenue than others. Some have more overall value, the vehicles, the assets, the equipment, the accounts. The accounts are key. The contracts are key. The sources of revenue are key. They all hold different weighted value. I have no doubt this will be a smooth transaction with this presented to them. Thank you for also getting this to just in time too. This was a critical role to the mission, and I will share advancements as they come. Thank you, blank. Yeah, because we got to him on Friday. Because he was having a meeting. He was having meetings with his individual limited partners. So we got to him just in time so he had time to review them all and then start to work with his have discussions with his limited partners. So I share all this with you to give you a much bigger view and perspective for the possibilities of what's out there. You do not need to just sign up with brokers and become a sharecropper. And I know that I am so far outgunned and so far outmanned by the sheer volume of the White Walkers, all those zombies that just devour all this free crap and content online. They devour it. And then after they've blown their wad, they've wasted the money, they've purchased vehicles that are not ideal to accomplish the mission, or it leaves them two-dimensional. They can't go after what I call top-tier targets to get real contracts to truly not just increase sales, but increase profit, to increase value. We need to ultimately increase the value. This is how we sell the business for the 4.25, the 6.5, things like that. It's you squeeze out as much juice as you possibly can through the life of your business, all the while increasing value. And look, let's think about this realistically. Is a vehicle an asset or is a liability? Well, I mean, on paper it's a liability because it's going to continue to depreciate the minute you drive it off a lot. It's a liability. But it's still an asset because it's making you money. So you could argue, you have an argument for both. It's definitely an asset. We need it. Our business doesn't operate. There is no medical transportation business without vehicles. But understand, that is still a depreciating asset. Okay? But overall, how do we increase the overall value of the business? Quality sales, strong quality profit margin leads to increased value. So to have strong quality sales, we can't just have cheap broker work that anyone can get. Plus, brokers, to the best of their ability, they want to give you ambulatory work. They'll even try to screw you over. If someone is borderline, sometimes they can walk, sometimes they need a chair, they're going by chair. They'll screw you over. Why? Because that means they pay you less. So that means it increases and boosts their bottom line versus yours. So the quality of contracts, imperative to increasing the overall value of your business. So think bigger. Think bigger. Now, I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to mention it again now. I have spent many hours putting together an entirely new video series that I hope to have launched by early this coming year here in 2026. Watch for that coming out. The ultimate purpose behind that, not that I want to inundate or overwhelm you with so much content, but guess what? I'm going to inundate and overwhelm you with a lot of content. Why? Because I want you to study. And I know that's a buzzword. People don't want to hear that. They want get rich quick. They want all of the fast. They want to download. They want shorts. They want reels. They want 30 seconds, 60 seconds. I don't have time for that nonsense. No. If you're about your money, then you handle your business appropriately. This video series, just the outline alone, was just over 4 pages. So I'm breaking things down in such granular detail in some instances. Why? Again, it's not that I don't love and welcome the opportunity to work with so many of you, but it's a matter of I got kids. I have other interests outside this. We've been traveling a boatload, especially this last year. I've met so many of you in person, vacationed with many of you. My wife and I are committed now to we are going to vacation more, number one. Number two, our kids take up a lot of time. We homeschool. I don't send them to these propaganda centers. I'm not down with that stuff. So it's a lifestyle. So long story short, to help alleviate, and again, we have a lot of people that we work with. A lot of you keep me on retainer. Love each and every one of you. You are my focal point. You prioritize. You're a priority for my time, and that's how I prioritize my time. But the more people we keep bringing into the fold, it's like you only have so much time. So the goal is for you especially you newbies or you who I haven't yet worked with, watch this video series. Yes, it comes at a price. What that is yet, I don't even know, because they haven't even finished compiling everything yet. So I couldn't even tell you how many hours it is right now. It's a lot. So I couldn't even tell you how much they're going to charge yet. But regardless, the goal is for as many of you to watch and learn from this as possible. And then, if you're like, man, this international sex symbol, this sexy dude who's talking to me for all these hours, he knows his stuff. And I need to learn from him. I need to work with him one-on-one. Then reach out to us, and then we'll do one-on-one. And again, it's not that I'm trying to shut the door on anybody, but I want you even more well-equipped, more prepared before we start work together. Because ultimately, it will save me time, save you time, hopefully even save you some money, and help us to accomplish more in even less period of time. So it's a win-win for all of us. So as soon as they get all that, so I have a couple more videos to shoot. Once they get everything compiled, we're going to be slowed here by the Christmas holiday. But once they get everything compiled on the back end, put together, whatever edits they got to do and all that kind of stuff. Once they finish all that and they put it out there, they put it live, we'll definitely let you know. So I encourage all of you to watch that. I'm talking about if you're a newbie, watch this series. If you're experienced, you've been in business for a long time, still watch the series. So I guarantee you're going to learn new stuff, because I'm going to be talking everything from the very startup phase all the way through things that I'm looking for when I'm doing valuations and we're trying to buy and sell your business. Because that's the ultimate goal. Increase the sales while increasing margin so we can increase overall value so we can sell at a future multiple. When we do that, I'll see you at the top.